There's nothing like the high of creative abundance that you feel when you start earning money through your own business. No one who hasn't done it themselves can know just how powerful you'll feel when you earn your first $100 cash, $1,000, $10,000, and especially when you earn your first 100K. But the first step to creative abundance isn't earning the money. It's the process of convincing yourself and believing that you can. Welcome to Hexotica, where manifesting meets marketing and witchy creatives turn ideas into income. This is the space for women and gender diverse founders designing time, location, and financial freedom. I'm Christine Rice, and this is episode 31. Hey, lovely guts, and welcome back to Hexotica. Isn't it so cool to have a podcast and to be able to tune into someone's voice around the world? And especially when you find someone that you really gel with, whose voice and whose lifestyle and whose achievements kind of stick in your head and inspire you to work on your dream and to make your dream come true. I'm so grateful for the podcasters that I listen to who do this for me. So I am super grateful if you are a listener and you are getting that kind of inspiration or that kind of guidance or whatever it is that you might be getting from this podcast, or that the reason why you're coming back to listen to it week to week. It is such a gem. It is such a gift, isn't it? I feel so freaking grateful for it. The other day, one of my favorite podcasters mentioned one of her favorite songs that puts her in a really good mood. And I started listening to it, and I literally cried with gratitude for this woman who has changed my life in such a huge way in the last year. And I would really hope that one day I get to meet her or work with her. But until then, I'm really dead set on making this the best podcast possible for listeners who are out there who need the guidance that I needed when I tuned into her podcast. So I'm so grateful that you're here. Now, I did take a few days off this week because, first of all, this is going to be one of those things where I just want to mention it because I'm often talking about how emotional regulation is so important in business, right? And I had a little bit of shame around this incident that I had to work through because shame is often just a narrative in our head, right? And we have to kind of see past it to see what the facts are and to deal with the facts. Because the more we get caught up in narratives, the more we're going to get off track. And especially when we're business owners, we've got to be able to separate that narrative and that story and that fiction, especially when it comes around shame, from the facts in our life. So this is what happened. And it's so horrible. And it just really took me off my routine for at least 3 days. But on Sunday afternoon, my dogs, one of my dogs, I have two. I have a mini Foxy and I have a Jack Russell. A Jack Russell was up in my bedroom and he started pawing his jaw. And when I was trying to, because dogs are always chewing things, right? And I thought, what the hell does he got in his mouth? So I went to go check his mouth and it was a tooth. One of his big teeth had fallen out. And I was so mortified by this. And I took a look at his gums and they were not good. And this is the amount of so many feelings, because I don't have children and my dogs are my children and he's 6 years old now. And we have tried so hard to take care of him the best we can. My partner and I, we buy him the absolute top grade food. We get dental biscuits. We've been brushing his teeth. He gets all his vaccinations. He's got dog insurance, all of it. And yet we somehow missed that his teeth were getting worse and worse. And if only we had caught it in time. So we rushed him down to the vet on the Tuesday as soon as we could get him in. And it looks like we're going to have to get quite a few of his teeth removed. Now, you might say this is just, it's just a dog. Some of you, if you're that kind of person, then I don't think that you should be listening to my podcast because I am an extremely dog loving, compassionate person. And when my animals get hurt or anything happens to them, they're like my babies, right? So I cannot think or focus. And so we had to process a lot of shame that we did not get him down for a teeth cleaning like 6 months ago when he really needed it. We were checking it, and we had bought the dental biscuits, and we were really, really careful about food. We'd made the mistake of giving him some sugary foods when we first got him as a puppy. Like we used to let him like lick the bowl of ice cream. Do not let your dog ingest any sugar. We were new dog owners, and we were a little bit lazy or lax about that. With my second dog, we were super careful, and her teeth are like pearly white. But there's other things that can lead to gingivitis and gum disease, right? It can be in his gut system, DNA, genes, and then different foods, So the vet was really, really adamant that we shouldn't blame ourselves, but we did. And I felt really dysregulated after that. And I felt it was really hard for me to focus on getting the podcast out on time. So even though I know I talk a lot about regulation and, we try, it is hard. And there are other things happening. Like I've been trying to improve the quality of the video on this podcast. And so I went around and I was looking for different ways to connect my microphone to my camera, because I've got a really good Pixel. And if I could just record with the Pixel, the video would be amazing. So I got this little thing here and I tried it, but the setup was just clunky. It was just a mess. And I basically gave up, and I thought, you know what? It's just a recorded podcast version for the YouTube. So I'm sorry about the bit of blurriness in the video, but that's what it's going to have to be, because I really needed to speed up the process. And that was the other thing that I did last week. I'm really tired of doing the podcast week to week and it taking up to sometimes even 3 days of my time when I need to be out networking and creating offers, building funnels, and working on my websites. So I decided to batch 5 podcasts in a row. So I wrote 5 scripts, which are my blog posts, which get SEO optimized and posted. And I am now batching 5 videos. So you might not get much of an update on my life in the next few episodes because I have batched them. But I am so excited about this process because it's going to finally allow me to free up the time that I need to start focusing on building some sales funnel assets. So the next 5 episodes are all planned out, and all 5 of them are going to be much more focused on online marketing and building a business, because we need to start focusing in on helping you make money and the tangible, strategic ways to do that. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about manifesting or spirituality, but for the next 5 episodes, at least, it's going to be a little bit more dialed into business strategy, tactics, funnels, all that kind of fun stuff. And if any of that sounds boring to you, I want to assure you, I have ADHD. The way that I talk about things is neurodiverse friendly. So let's get started with today's, which is all about creative abundance. The reason why I wanted to talk about creative abundance is because if you're dreaming of starting an online business, or you've already started creating one, then you need to know that this process requires a lot of time and patience, right? The internet can become your personal virtual money tap, but the skill of creating that flow is not just as easy as turning on a tap, right? Anyone who is telling you that it is easy is a liar. It is simple. It can be simple, but it is not easy. And this is because there's a subconscious part of our brain that will scream and fight like a trapped feral animal against all the changes that you want to make in your life, right? So the real skill behind running an online business and becoming a marketician is learning how to handle and tame that wild subconscious mind. And after 18 years of doing this, running my online businesses and helping online businesses with, helping my clients with theirs when I was a social media manager, I know the specific strategies and the daily rituals that can help calm this feral animal down. I used them last week to help my mind calm down. So that is why I wanted to talk about creative abundance and how it is possible for you, what it is, and the process of going about getting it. And I'm going to talk about how it's not just through manifesting and intentions that we get it, or through straight pragmatic strategies. It's kind of a combination of both, right? If we use these two combinations, we become unstoppable. That is what I have seen and witnessed with my highly successful clients, with friends who have become very, very successful, and that has come true to a part in my life. I haven't become as successful as I'd hope, but I do feel like I do understand now the foundations of what creative abundance is all about. So let's go back 18 years to Christine when I was a jewelry designer making Gothic and burlesque accessories, and Hexotica was an eBay, Etsy, and Shopify shop. Go back. 18 years ago. I'd been working for other people my whole dang life, right? So the first time that I got a $100 note that I had made myself, it felt life-changing. I'll never forget that moment that I got that creative abundance high, holding that first $100 note in my hand. It was in Melbourne. I was in a Melbourne pub with my boyfriend at the time and a large group of friends. I had paid for the entire pub meal and the beers myself, for me and my boyfriend. The entire pub meal I'd bought it myself, using the money that I had just started earning from my e-commerce business. I remember looking down at the glorious hot mushroom burger and the pint of cider that we were drinking, thinking, oh my God, it's like money I generated out of thin air. Not a job, not a boss, not a paycheck, but all on my own. It felt really weird, like a break from everything that I had ever known about the conventional system of earning money. And it was different from when you have a garage sale or you go to a market, you sell something here or there on eBay. It felt different from that because what this had come from was an asset that I was building that was going to replace my job. It was money that was coming from something that I had been building that was going to be a solution to a long-term problem, having to work, right? It felt like a break from everything that I ever knew about that conventional system of earning money. Until that night, every dollar I'd ever touched had been filtered through permission, a roster, a boss, a payslip. This was the first time that money answered directly to my creativity, straight from my creative ideas, right? And even though I had been working very hard for it, the fact that I had generated it by myself through my own creativity made it somehow still feel almost free, as if there was just all this money floating around us, and getting it was just a matter of choosing to go after it directly. No more middlemen. No more jumping through hoops or waiting for paychecks or raises or doing interview after interview for another job, right? What I experienced in that moment was an endless feeling of unlimited, fully available creative abundance. That first time I collected a $100 bill cash note, that creative abundance magic felt tangible. Like I was holding the magic of many years of manifesting my own business, many years of manifesting and then having an intention and a vision in my head. And finally, it was in my hand, something I could feel, smell. Proof that I did have what it takes to make money in my own way, on my own terms. And yes, I was tempted to frame that $100 bill, but I was too broke at the time, so I had to use it. I realized then that the only thing that was stopping me from unlimited wealth was always going to be my own mind. The lack of this creative abundance mindset, that was the limitation, the only limitation. And so ever since then, it's become my mission to focus on nurturing this self-belief in myself. And it's a feeling that I continue to nurture ever since that day, which has allowed me to stay self-employed all of these years. Despite low self-worth, often feeling like an imposter, often not knowing what the fuck I was doing. I mean, that's pretty normal if you're an entrepreneur. And also after not knowing for years that I had ADHD. My craving for freedom and more creative abundance motivated me to never give up, and it still motivates me. Because the most powerful creative abundance mindset that you can have is rooted in the knowledge that no one can take away my belief in my own earning skills ever. I will always be self-sufficiently self-employed, trusting that I am capable of earning my own money and surviving whatever setbacks I may encounter using my creativity and my resourcefulness. And if you are an unconventional neurospicy woman or gender diverse misfit, you have this ability within you too. The only difference between me and you is that I've spent years training my brain to overcome any ideas that what I desire is not possible. Everything is possible if you believe that it is. And I truly believe that. But I know that many people do not, right? And I know that if this phrase, if it's making you feel uncomfortable to hear it, that is the sound of that caged feral animal pacing back and forth in your subconscious mind. And it's screeching and howling to keep you exactly where you are, telling you, that's not true. That's not true. It's screaming. It's not possible. How can everyone have what they want? It's not possible. There's not that much to go around. Yes, it fucking is. Shut the fuck up. You need to tell this feral animal, shut the fuck up, get in the car, because we're going places, right? So you chuck that feral animal in your car and you hit the gas despite hearing those howls and the sound of claws ripping and shredding up the seats. That is entrepreneurship. It's keeping your foot on the gas despite all the screaming and the ripping sounds happening in your head in the backseat. Creative abundance is yours to accept and to take. You only need to activate it. So often, we forget that we could be using our creativity, which we're blessed with, to solve the endless problem of securing an income for ourselves on our own, without employment, without commutes, without bosses, without capped hourly wages. An undesirable lifestyle is merely a set of problems to solve, one at a time. Think about that. I'll repeat it. An undesirable lifestyle is merely a series of problems to solve, one at a time. But our minds will create narratives and they will create stories around all these things that we don't want in our lives to distract us from the practical actions that we could be taking to change them. An example is the feeling that you don't have enough time to work on your side hustle or a business idea. Your brain will create stories of what is more important, what needs to be prioritized above your little side hustle pursuit, and it will continue to sabotage your effort to put any hours into working it. It'll keep you busy with everything else. I know this because I struggled with this for years. Yet behind this lack of being able to prioritize the side hustle is the belief that it will not work out anyway. Always, that's the belief behind you not prioritizing it. It's not that the other things are more important. It is that you haven't convinced yourself that the side hustle or business idea will work anyway. So your brat feral brain prevents you from investing any time into that idea or that side hustle. It just will stop it. It's always going to make narratives. And so the less time that you spend working on your business, the less proof that you're collecting to help you convince yourself that it is possible to make it work. You're not exposing yourself to all the success stories out there of people who have made it work. You're not exposing yourself to the time-saving strategies, the time-saving automations that are out there and available, the time-saving delegation strategies that can help make it work for someone as busy as you are. We have to activate and nurture our imaginations to believe creative abundance is possible for us. And the essence of a creative abundance mindset is self-compassion, patience, and a lot of inner gentle self-parenting. It's self-leadership, constant animal training, crack the whip, constant nurturing to free us from conventional inner narratives and stories about what is and isn't possible when it comes to making money. And it's an inner power. Creative abundance is an inner power. If you activate a creative abundance mindset, you activate the ability to earn an unlimited amount of money. From that moment, it's up to you to continue to build the self-worth and the self-trust that you need to continue to lead yourself. Marketing tactics and strategies, they're just the tools to help make it happen. Who you are as an online business owner and savvy marketer, like what I like to call a marketician, is far more important than any tactics, strategies, or tools. You may understand that creating creative abundance is a practice of becoming, right? That it requires practice and repetition. But the first time that you collect that first $100 cash or you get that first $1,000 bank transfer, you're going to unlock a power that no boss, no system, or no paycheck can ever take away. Once that creative abundance mindset magic is yours, it's permanent. The first dollar you generate from your ideas or skills is the proof. You can make money with your own brain and your own creativity on your own damn terms. From a resort in Fiji, wearing flannel cat pajamas, or without client calls, passive income, or service-based income. Now, there are two mistakes that block you from having creative abundance. Over the past 18 years since I've been running online businesses, I've observed that there are two different approaches that can block any chance of feeling creative abundance in life. Two big mistakes that can underpin why many people fail at trying to escape a situation or a lifestyle that they loathe. The first group is the aspirational daydreamers who focus too much on researching, planning, and manifesting their dream. They do not invest enough time or money to follow a proven strategy. These are the people who may have often done a lot of inner work, but they are trying to figure out everything on their own without any practical guidance. Years can go by, and they have done very little toward their dream. Every time they have a terrible day at work or they find themselves crying in the bathroom, their self-blame grows. They stay in perpetual how to get started default mode and will always say that they lack time and money or both. But somehow, they still find enough time and money for other things or other people outside of what supports their dream. They do not yet believe that their dream is actually possible, so they struggle to commit to it. And as a result, they continue to prioritize other things or people, or they subconsciously sabotage themselves and their progress through drinking, staying up late scrolling, starting a relationship or dating when they have just got things started, when they were single. The second group is the aspirational action takers who focus too much on an entirely pragmatic approach. They may invest a lot of money and time into their dream, but they pin all their outcomes on things that are outside of themselves, right? So these are the people who will buy expensive courses or hire coaches, and they expect those things and people to be an easy ticket to making the money that they want, right? They are why Reddit is full of people calling extremely successful business coaches and mentors scammers, and all the people that are wanting refunds or complaining and warning others, don't take that course or don't hire that coach because she didn't work for me, right? They thought that all they needed to do is to learn what to do, like how to get started or set up a Facebook ads campaign, whatever. But no marketing tactic or strategy in the world is going to work for you if you have not done the inner work of self-belief and self-trust first. If you have a scarcity mindset, that feral animal is going to tear holes in even the best proven marketing strategy. There is no tactic that's going to help you in the world. Now, this group may often lack a nervous system regulation to finish implementing the strategy, right? They just can't monitor a $100 a day Facebook ad campaign long enough to get the essential data needed to make it work, right? They freak out because they haven't done the inner work to tame that feral animal. So they've got this great strategy working with a great marketer, an absolute spot on proven strategy, but they cannot regulate themselves enough to stick with the plan, to implement it, to watch all that money going into a Facebook ads every day. Their anxiety and their impatience get in the way of holding steady to the proven strategy. They quickly lose faith and they move on to the next shiny object, a different proven strategy, a different marketing guru, a different platform. But it's the same dysregulated nervous system, impatience, and inability to withstand the pressure of trying to figure out how to get people to buy their products or services. The part science, part creative project of getting their sales funnels to convert. So they never get to where it's actually making them any money. Then they go on Reddit and they complain and they say it's a scam and blah, blah, blah. It's not a scam. It's often that these people just didn't do the inner work, especially when you're talking about really, really successful businesswomen who have helped thousands of other people, and thousands of other people have proven that they can do it. But all these people on Reddit complaining and bitching that it's a scam somehow didn't do it, and it's all a scam because they couldn't do it. No, there's more to the story there. And the story usually is that they focus too much on the strategy and not enough on the inner work. So the fastest track to creative abundance is a balance between inner work or following a proven strategy. It's a balance. We need to have the manifesting research planning part of our mind that does the inner work, and we need to have a proven strategy. The path to overcoming both the hurdles of aspiring daydreamers and aspiring action takers is a balance between the two approaches. If you're stuck in endless daydreaming, you're researching, not knowing where to start or where to find the time or the money that you need, it may help to just bypass all of your worries about all those things and stop second guessing and trying to look for the perfect plan and just go with a simple marketing strategy. One that you can easily accommodate while holding down a full-time job, for example. And if money is an issue, do something organic like an SEO or social media marketing strategy. And if you do that, then you will want to hire a marketing mentor like me when you are ready to be held accountable to that simple, proven strategy to help you stick with it and make it work. You'll eventually become a consistent action taker. Your actions now align with your intentional manifesting. Creative abundance becomes possible. Then, as you step into being an aspirational action taker, your next mission is to strengthen your self-trust and ability to regulate your nervous system. Mentoring can help give you regular outside feedback on every action that you take to help you identify problems as they arise. We turn your daily actions into increased revenue month to month, and we work to decrease the time, the money, and the sanity lost to the highs and lows that you experience on the way because you are a busy person, right? We're talking everything from the fear of success when you sign your first $1,000 client to the days when your laptop shits itself and you're grieving the loss of your most beloved pet or their teeth. This is the inner magic of a money-making marketician who has fully embodied the skill of creative abundance. Uncapped income is not a fantasy. It's a reality that your mind could make happen for you. To sum up, creative abundance is something that you can start creating right now. It starts with allowing yourself to believe that your dream is possible. kindling a teeny flame. And then you continue to collect and create the evidence until that belief is a fire in your belly that makes you unstoppable. Don't base the possibility of creative abundance on what those around you are doing or on your own past results. Do not listen to anyone who does not share the same dream as you or who hasn't already done something that you want to do, as far as like advice and whatnot. Look only at the women and gender diverse creatives like yourself who are already doing it. There are so many. Every so-called competitor that you see, instead of thinking, oh, they've got so much more than me and they're better than me, think of them as proof that what is possible for them is possible for you. They've done it before, so therefore you can do it. If she can do it, so can I. That was one of my favorite mottos for many, many years before I started my first business. If she can do it, so can I. And then get started. Just wait until your first year out earning what you made in a year at your last job. It will happen if you stick with it. It happened to me by the third year of my freelance social media management business. Or just imagine hitting your first 10K month or your first 6-figure year. Just imagine it. Or when you have a 5-day launch that brings in more money than what you earned in a year at a job that you used to hate so fucking much that even the thought of Monday mornings used to ruin your Sunday evenings. And this is something I may be able to help you do in one of my Swan Transformation Marketing Strategy mentoring programs. So if you're ready to create your first $1, first $10, first $100 or $1,000 or more, it's time to shift from daydreamer to doer to marketician. It's time to activate, hatch, match up, and nurture your creative dream and your hidden online marketing plan signet. Working together with an experienced marketing professional can help you get there faster. Someone who has done it before you, who can show you the exact steps to take and the exact steps not to take. Someone who can give you feedback on what it is that you're doing, make you feel a little bit less alone. Your time and money are limited. Hiring a mentor is how you save on both. Zipline your way to freedom and creative abundance with me. So here's how I can help you get started, either DIYing it yourself or getting help from me when you need it along the way. My Swan Audit and Treasure Map shows you exactly how to turn your creative ideas into repeatable revenue streams so you can keep chasing that freedom over and over. I take a look at your entire online presence, what's working, what is not, and I present what I found in a PDF guide and a slideshow that I present with a one-on-one consult with you. You'll gain clarity and direction with your business and your marketing, and you'll know where the gold treasure is buried for you online, what to pursue. It's a $300 Australian dollar investment. That means it's a lot cheaper if you're in the UK or if you're in the US. And it's a one-time payment. You can use the treasure map on your own, and you can go from there with the recommendations that I give you, or you can explore one of the longer mentoring programs and go deeper with me and ongoing accountability if you want it after we do the treasure map. So it's a fantastic initial program. Like if you want to start a business or if you've already started and you just need that little bit of feedback, a little bit of eyes on your social media, eyes on your website, eyes on whatever you have built so far to give you some professional recommendations on how to help it convert your people that visit or your followers to become subscribers and how to convert those subscribers into buyers. But if you're not ready to start an online business just yet, because you've still got inner work to do, then I've got just the thing for you too. You can subscribe to my Self-Reliance Rituals Self-Transformation newsletter. It outlines 10 very powerful daily rituals designed to enrich your life in at least one small way over 10 weeks to help you become a more motivated, ambitious, resourceful, confident, regulated, self-reliant AF person. It will help you kickstart your self-transformation so that you can start developing more self-trust, more self-love right away. All right, lovely guts. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode and that it has helped you give yourself permission to believe in your most delusional level dreams and to know that creative abundance is possible. It's just going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. So if you really enjoyed the episode, don't forget to leave a hex yeah on the YouTube video if you're watching it on YouTube or on any of Hexotica's social media channels to let me know who you are so that I can support and follow you online. Join me next week when I'm going to be talking about business visibility if you hate social media, other ways to get found and other ways to drive traffic to your products and services if you really just don't want to be on social media anymore. There are other ways that are possible. Until then, enjoy your week and I'll see you next week. Bye.